Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia.
Look, if you're not happy in America, leave. And I consider Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Tlaib, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools.
Right focus here. What you're about to hear is one of the most shocking displays of misplaced loyalty we've ever seen inside the halls of Congress. Stay with me, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's break this down together because you need to see exactly what went down and why it matters for every American watching.
Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Whereas elected members of Congress take an oath to bear true faith and allegiance to the United States without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar took an oath of allegiance to the United States upon becoming a citizen, declaring, "I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen." Whereas on January 27, 2024, Representative Omar gave remarks at an event in Minneapolis in which she made treasonous statements. Whereas Representative Omar said she has spoken to many Somalians who asked her to intercede for the Somali government by pressuring the United States government into certain actions. Whereas Representative Omar assured the Somalians she spoke to, the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Whereas Representative Omar continued, "For as long as I am in U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not be stolen by Ethiopia or others. Sleep in comfort knowing I am here to protect the interest of Somalia from inside the U.S. system." Whereas George Washington warned in his farewell address of 1796 to guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism, and further declared citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has a right to concentrate your affections. The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the just pride of patriotism more than any appellation derived from local discriminations. Whereas these statements by Representative Omar clearly violate the oath she took as an elected member of Congress to defend and protect the United States Constitution. Whereas Representative Omar has exhibited the treasonous tendencies George Washington warned about, and her actions must be condemned by all members of Congress who adhere to the oath they took upon assuming office. And whereas by openly admitting her efforts to advance Somalia's interest using her position as a United States representative, Representative Omar has revealed herself to be a foreign agent acting on behalf of a foreign government. Now, therefore be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee of the Budget and the Committee on Education and the Workforce.
You know, when you argue with a fool, you just prove there are two. And I consider Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman Tlaib, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools. They hate America. They think America was wicked in its origins, and it's even more wicked today. They ought to be thanking America instead of calling America evil and wicked and racist. But this is America, and they have the right to their opinion. But I don't like to see the president even dignify their point of view. Besides that, I think that the Squad, as they call themselves, they are destroying the Democratic Party. You know, when your opponent is screwing up, don't interrupt him. Let him go. I mean, just looking at this from a political standpoint, if I didn't know better, I would think the members of the Squad were GOP plants. I mean, they think that illegal immigration, socialism, higher taxes, abortion are all moral goods. They think America, Israel, free enterprise are moral bads. That's not what most Americans believe. And that's kind of where I am on the subject. The president has explained his position. He has said, look, here's what I meant. If you're not happy living in America, leave. It's a free country, and I agree with that assessment.
All right, Patriots, welcome back to Right Focus. If you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe right now so you never miss a breakdown of what's happening inside Washington. Your support helps keep the truth alive. Now let's get into it. Today, we're reacting to one of the most unbelievable scenes I've ever witnessed in Congress. Marjorie Taylor Greene took to the House floor and outlined statements Ilhan Omar reportedly made at an event in Minneapolis. These weren't harmless remarks. Omar was quoted saying the U.S. government would act based on what Somalians in America wanted, and that she would protect Somalia's interests using her seat in Congress. Think about what that means. Elected members of Congress swear an oath to the United States and no other nation. Yet here we have a representative telling a foreign community that America will take orders to benefit Somalia. That doesn't sound like representation. That sounds like serving a foreign state from inside our system. Greene's message was clear. Where is your loyalty? She reminded Congress and the public that the oath of office is not symbolic. It's a commitment to protect and defend the United States. It's not something you casually abandon in favor of another nation's agenda. And honestly, she was right to bring this forward. If these statements are true, then this is a direct breach of duty. The resolution Greene read didn't hold back. It cited history, including George Washington's farewell address, which warned Americans about divided loyalty. The founders knew it was dangerous to allow foreign allegiance to influence national decisions. And here we are, facing that exact threat in real time. Then Senator John Kennedy weighed in with that signature calm, no-nonsense tone. He called out Omar and her progressive allies, the Squad, for acting like this country is fundamentally evil. He pointed out that they spend more time tearing America down than appreciating the freedoms and opportunities this country provides. Kennedy put it plainly, if you think America is wicked, if you despise its values, nobody is forcing you to stay. That's not hate. That's common sense. Why claim to represent a nation you think is beyond redemption? Why sit in Congress if your loyalty lies elsewhere? What we're seeing here is not a policy disagreement. This is about allegiance. Greene and Kennedy are sounding the alarm because divided loyalty from within is far more dangerous than any threat from outside. When a member of Congress openly expresses devotion to another nation, it challenges the integrity of our entire system. And let's be honest. America deserves representatives who actually love this country, who believe in its ideals, and work to strengthen it. Not individuals who leverage their position to serve foreign interests. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should someone who openly vows to protect another nation from inside our government continue to serve? Should they remain on committees that impact our tax dollars and national security? Hit like, subscribe to Right Focus, and stay tuned. We're just getting started.